Hi my friend, it's Pat Sloan here, and we are starting in my living room because I am going to switch the quilts out. I have a quilt on the back of the couch. I have some pillows. Remember this one? There's a quilt on the wall. Da, 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 da. And then I have like a little side table over here with things on it. There's a bookcase, but really up at the top, I don't know. I might have to just put something fallish up there. See up at the top. And then over, I have let's see, I'll swing it around here. So now we're looking out towards my hallway. I need to take the wreath off the door and then on the, the ladder, there we go. Switch some things on the ladder. The top became a dumping zone. When I moved all the quilts into my dining room, I ended up just dumping a lot of stuff up here from the dining room. And then I have a whole rocking chair already full of the quilts and pillows ready for this room. So what I'm going to do is switch things out, and then I'll give you a little tour of that. So in order to put those quilts up into my living room and maybe my hallway, I had to pull them all out. I had to pull out the fall quilts, and I actually, when I moved all the quilts into my dining room and consolidated everything, I did group some of the holiday type of quilts. I grouped like the summer and the fall and the Christmas and a few other things so that I could get them again. There are other pieces that are fall pieces that are stored with book piles or other places, but these are the ones that I pulled out, and there's quite a stack here. So I thought this would be fun to just do a little quilt show. Do you like that? Oh, and before, I know some of you are going to ask, where's the t-shirt from? This is one of the Life is Good t-shirts, so you can get it from their website. I just had to have it with the sewing machine. Life is Good, it says on the bottom. Right? Perfect. Okay, so let's start. I put one up on the wall, and this is the one that we did as a sew along together from the book Witch's Night Out, and that is a bigger quilt that in the book, but what I did, which is on my website, is a bonus smaller layout with like one or two of each piece, and I just really like it. It's so much fun. There's also a little table runner option in the book. So I put that one up on the wall to have you so that you could look at it while we're doing this. So let me first do, let's first do the quilts from my holiday celebration book. We've got the spooky twist. So I definitely want to do that. I may put that on the end table where I showed you. My dining room isn't very big, so my living room isn't very big, so these are not all going in the living room. They're not all going to be able to be displayed, but I might have a nice little stack of them on the side. So that's in my book. The bag, which one of you made recently, one of our quilt friends in Quilt Along with Pat Sloan at Facebook made one of these. I also have these are going to hang up. I think at least one of them will go on the ladder, and maybe one on the banister up to my upstairs. Are the trick-or-treat bags with the little ghost girl and a bow in her hair and a happy jack-o'-lantern. So these are fun to hang. You could put some dried leaves or get some fall sort of foliage type stuff to put inside of them. That would be kind of cute. Okay, two other things from the book that are fall oriented is a table mat. So we've got that guy as a 4-block table mat, and then the table runner. I love this leaf shape. Look at this. So cool. Ta-da! So those are from the book. Now, as we go along here, I'm going to show you very old things, some of them very old, which I may not even know where they're from. And if I do, I'll put it in the link below in the description box and over at my website. But some of these I'm not sure, because these were done years and years and years ago. All right, so a few that I do know. This was from last year. We did the little mini muffins project. So isn't that cute? Look at the fall colors. I love it. This is another one that could be on the end table. It could also just go in the middle of, I think this one's going to go in the middle of my dining room table. I think that's where it's going to go. So like as I'm looking at these, I'm trying in my head going, okay, where are these going to hang? where am I going to display as much as I can? Because I can't display them all. This is two of the same. This was a sew along that we did several years ago. And I have two versions. One is with the sort of darker gray and the black, and I put black polka dots on the back of that one. The other version is a little lighter grays with peach pumpkins. Ta-da! Look at the quilting on that one. Can you see it? Can you see the spider webs? Look at the spider webs. And that has a light gray speckly background. So those are very neat. They were not I don't think they were the Button Club. They may have been the Button Club. This was the Button Club. There's another little tiny one, so I'm going to pin this up on the wall, so I have a place for that. Fall, it's time for fall and the acorns. My acorns are dropping. Do you have acorns dropping? We had a first grouping that were really tiny, like they didn't like do much. They were like almost, I don't know, the acorn itself was almost just as wide as the acorn cap. It was strange, but now we're getting real acorns. Now we're getting the big ones. Okay, another bigger quilt that I showed you recently. This will hang behind my sofa. Is the Bowden from my triangle book, done with the greens and Halloween fabrics. So I had this one up on my wall the other day here on the video. So that's going to go on the wall behind the sofa. And I will need another little bit larger one to hang on the ladder. So I'm thinking, I have a couple here. Here's an Oh My Stars with a fall fabric line. Ta-da! Okay, here we go. There we go. So this was a charm pack, a fall charm pack, and I just love it. The back was a piece of the fabric, same fabric in the teal. So I think it's really nice to add that teal into the fall. It gives a really nice look. The back of this one, did you want to see? Sorry, I haven't been showing all the backs because I just don't think of it. So here's the back with just a bunch of different greens of mine from my different fabric lines to accent that green on the front. All right, I'm making a huge mess here. So this is a panel, and this might go, I don't know, I might just leave my little Dear Jane up on the wall because I really like it there in the hall, but I might put this in another spot in the hall, which is a panel. Is it right side up? No, got it upside down, sorry. At quilt shows, people would yell, upside down, right? I can't hear you though. So there's a panel from maybe last year or the year before. So that was by Sandy Gervais, and I have just a yellow on the back. So I like the panel. It's really cute. I love that owl. Now the other big one was what I put on my wall here in the studio, which was from the Layer Cake book. So there you go for that guy, right? That's from the Layer Cake book. All right, so I'm gonna have some small, no, I have one more bigger thing. This will probably go on the back of the sofa. And this is my stitched quilt. And it's these use a jelly roll. So you can do the stitched quilt with jelly roll. We'll have to do a sew along for this one time. It's been years and years since we did that. Probably since this one was made, which, what year did I say? How odd. I didn't put the year on there. I put all kinds of other information, but not the year. So here's the backing. This was done with this great Halloween fabric that I got somewhere years and years ago. So like, I just love this Halloween fabric. I sort of wish I'd done it on a border on something, but I did it for the back, which means I can never give this quilt away. So I have to keep this one forever. So this is my stitched pattern in my digital store. Oh, phew. Gets out of breath picking all those up. All right, I have a few older ones now. This next one is bigger. This could go on my ladder too. I could do 2 on the ladder. And I don't remember where it's from. If it was in a book or done for a magazine. I don't have good information on that one. I just have the name. It was done in April of 2000. So 2000 it would have been for a magazine. Let me see, can I hold it up properly? Yeah. So it's got great big acorns and a nice traditional block. So it's like a, what is that? Bird in the air kind of block. Or Lady of a Lake. I'd have to look up which it actually is. And on the back I had some star fabric, but not enough. So finished it with yellow. I like that one too. I don't know what magazine. It was probably from McCall's magazine back in 2000. That's a long time ago. Long time ago. So a couple of these now these are all older things. Yeah. This is a piece that was either from Blackbird Designs or Jan Patek or Barbara Brannick. May have been Barbara Brannick. But it's an old applique that I did. See the crow with the star eye? I have this huge pile of quilts here now. What a mess. This was one of mine from the big pumpkin quilt that I did. Happy Jack, that's his name. So there was an embroidery with the Happy Jack, and this one I'm going to pin up on the wall somewhere. I'm going to keep that out so I don't lose track of it because it's smaller. And I think it needs pressed because, you know, they get a fold in the middle. Now this is another one that's very old. I did it for myself way back a zillion years ago. It's kind of a funky shape. It's kind of rectangular. I don't know where I was expecting to put this, but the images again they're either from Linda Brannick, Jan Patek, probably one of those two. And it may have been in a book, it may have been somewhere else, but there is primarily applique, and then the back on here is brown. It's a nice fall quilt because I'm born in and around Thanksgiving. This is my quilt with the turkey on it. There's some good turkey quilts out there. Someday I have to make a really good turkey quilt. All right. I'm going to save one for last. Something I did from a Japanese book. I'm going to save it till last. This was a little tote done with a panel. These are a bunch of little ones now. Here was a tote done with a panel. So I have directions for that online. If you just search Pat Sloan Halloween, you get a bunch of these small projects will come up, the blog posts. But here's the other side. So this was a Corey Dantini panel, and then you could do any panel or just really pretty fabric for this tote. Now I chose not to quilt it. There's no quilting, batting, or anything in here, so it's pretty loose. But you could, of course, add that. Now here are some other small projects that we did. I know this was a table mat. We did it online, but I forget the name of it or what this sew-along was for. I think it was something for the Fat Quarter Shop where they put out one, they put out the block, and then I just made it into like this little quilt. This was from the Button Club. The sunflowers, see now that can hang up. I got a nice little spot. See, I need these tiny little things I can hang up. I put him over there too. Some table runners. Lots of table runners. I have one dining room table. I mean well, I do have a dining room table and one coffee table. And I have tons of table runners. So I can switch them out as I go along. Now the green one might go up because I'm going to put that quilt with the green on the wall. So this might go on the table this year. What else we got? Oh, here's a little black cat. This cat is in my Teach Me to Machine quilt book, and I teach you how to do stopping and starting around an image in the book for straight line quilting. Here's a little pumpkin guy. I believe he's in one of my books. Which book? Yeah, Celebrate the Seasons. So there is, you have that book, I'm sure. I like that one too. I'm gonna have to hang that one up. Okay, oh, here's some pillows. So I got a pillow that matches the birthday quilt up there. So I'm gonna put the pillow up. I may have to buy another pillow form. I seem to be missing a pillow form. I don't know how that happens. I have pillowcases and not all the pillow forms. So here's like a little rectangular pillow I have. This, I think it was a travel pillow that we got. I love this fabric. I love it. And here it is on the back side. The art gallery fabric that came out last year. And then I used that cool fabric that I like that's on the border of the birthday cake. I made a pillow out of it. Guess what? We're almost done. You like show and tell? I have not pulled all these things out in ages. Now this is all wrinkly, but here's another pillow I did with the cross stitch. Do you remember that? So these little cross stitches, Cindy did the cross stitches for me. And then I assembled them into this pillow that is it's dimensional, see? So these are just tacked down on here. So I could change that out. I wouldn't for the colors, but I need to do another one of those. Do you like that concept? So there's 9 little ones that made into this centerpiece. I kind of like that. I've got my candy corns. This is a free pattern, and I like this candy corn so much. I have done it multiple times. Not once, not twice, but 3 times I have made this candy corn up. Maybe I need to send some to somebody. That's a lot of the same one. I don't need that many. But they're so fun. They're so cute. I love candy corn. Okay, this is the last one I'm showing. This is the last show and tell. Then I will go hang the quilts in my living room. So I have a Japanese, or I did. It was a Japanese quilt book, and this quilt was in it. And I made it years and years and years ago. Do I say how many years ago? 2003 I finished it. I always put the year that I finish. So it's 2003. And this is, I'll do a close-up. They're hand appliqued. So there you see it. For a long time this hung in my bedroom. I might have to put it back. You see the middle? So I was doing a lot of hand applique at the time. And this was like, I think, a quilt I took along when we were on travel. It just has a black background, a couple different black fabrics on the back. But I love it. I'll stand back so you can get a better view. Ta-da! And I think that's fall, just because the baskets and the coloration of it, it feels very fall-like to me. I still love that one a lot. It was really fun to use all those different fabrics in behind all the baskets. I have a lot of different fabrics in there. Cool, cool, cool. I don't know what magazine it's in, but it was a Japanese magazine. It was all in Japanese, and so I basically just needed to get some, you know, they had some basic dimensions. They may have had the dimensions of the blocks in English, and then the applique shapes. So because it's not very complex, it's just squares. This is not a problem to follow. Okay. A quilt show, a quilt show. And if you have the Witch's Night out and you haven't made that one yet, or if you like it, that will definitely be linked. And I'll put a picture of that on my website. So much fun. It's so much fun to go through. And I know I have more fall pieces. I know. But now is to pick out which ones. Which ones will I hang up in my limited space? I could hang one in here in the kitchen. I have a piece in the kitchen. I could replace that one out too and put the fall one. And I have a couple in the hallway. I could switch. One of those might be time to switch it out. So I may put fall one up there. All right, let's go hang them up. And in a flash, I went in here and got all of the quilts up. Well, all the ones that I'm going to get up. I've got the Bowden up on the wall and the stitch there. I found some of the pillowcases so I could get those on. Now over in the corner by the window, I hung a few of the stitcheries. So at the front door, what I did is I took this piece that was a, you know, like a table mat, and I just put a little hanging sleeve part on it and switched it out for a fall. And the colors are really good on that one. I really like the colors for a fall. Look, see? And it's just a dowel rod. Now, it's not that great because it should be shorter, but I've got some actually Orifil 12 weight thread up here, 2 strands, and then wrapped it around the screw on the door so that it doesn't flop around. And then this is still the hallway up. And I hung a little ghost girl up there. Let's see, right here I have the ladder, and I put the pumpkin guy here and some of the fall. So the ones I just showed you. I put the table runner. I put the green table runner like I talked about, because that would be going with the quilt on the wall. And I still have to find a pillowcase for this guy. I think I used it down there for the spooky sampler pillow, so I need to go get a pillowcase for this. And I put over in my quilt storage room now, so the table in here. So I'll go ahead and end it out here in the quilt storage room. I have this plaid tablecloth on here because I am using this table, my dining room table, now for quite a bit of manipulating of things. I don't want to scratch it, so I put that on there. And here is the spooky twist from my holiday book. And now this piece in the center, I have to get a few more of my, I'll try to get some more Halloween or fall things. And same with the top of my credenza in the living room. I need to get like a leaf garland or something to put up there. This room is storage now. We had to have one room in the house as storage. Our home doesn't have a basement or a usable attic, so one room always has to be storage, and it is this one now, which it's not, it's not wonderful, but in a lot of ways it's much better because I can get to everything in here, and we were already partially using it anyways as storage, so now it's all storage, and it'll be like this for another couple of years till I get it all sort of reduced down. But that's okay, I love it. It's easy to get to everything. So I hope you had fun seeing all of the quilts. There was, I'll put the links of whatever I know down below. But, I've done these over many, many years, 20, 30 years now. So sometimes you just have to enjoy the quilt for what it is and just not worry about having a pattern for it. All right, my friend, I'm Pat Sloan. I'm so glad you were here. I love you, and I will see you online. Mwah.